let's have fun with VLANs. So I have here a scenario, really simple, because it really suits the CCNA environment and what they ask you to do, which is I have here a couple of 4 PCs, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. I will show the IP addresses and all that in a second. But these are currently all on VLAN 1. So for now, this is VLAN 1. So this is the scenario I want to end with. I want to get to this scenario. I want to put these 2 PCs in VLAN 1 and these 2 PCs in VLAN 2. So this is what I want to achieve. But for now, this is VLAN 1 and also this is VLAN 1, much because the switch, it's basically unconfigured by me. It's a new switch. It has no config at all. It just existed. It just exists. And it's just sitting there. I just powered it on. I just bought it and I installed it, plugging the network cables and the console cable. And that's pretty much it what I did. So it has a completely default Cisco configuration, which means that every PC or every device connected to the switch is configured in VLAN 1. If you're watching this in the short form, come and join the long form video. I'll wait for you there. It's going to be lots of fun. I'll see you there. So for the long form peeps, here we go. Let's continue on. And well, basically that's it. Everyone is in VLAN 1 and the switch is basically unconfigured. The only thing it has, it's a host name. Okay. So I'm going to get here, let me see, PC1 and let's get PC2 here. PC3, it's lurking, which is fine. So basically PC1 has this IP address and PC2 has this IP address. 1111, 1112, everything really simple. So let's ping from 111 to 2. It pings fine. Let's ping 3, pings fine. So all PCs are pingable. They can reach each other, which is fine. And of course himself. Okay. So everybody's pinging everybody. Everybody's just happy living with one another. Everything is fine. All of them are in the same IP network and all of them on the same VLAN, which is VLAN 1 in this case. So let me get my switch here. So this basically the switch is just powered on. It only has an IP, a host name and nothing really else. It's just there sitting and waiting for its thing. So let's do a show VLAN thing. And as you can see, I only have VLAN 1, which is a default one. And I know if you have made your studies, you know that keeping everything in VLAN 1 it's not advisable, but it's just an exercise. We're trying to shift away from that. And you have the 1, 0, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. So these ones are just special VLANs that we know that they just exist and they are just sitting there, and they just need to be there. So don't worry too much about those because they just exist. Okay, cool. Now, what do we do? Now, we could do VLAN 2 and 3, but let's make on the left VLAN 1, on the right let's make a VLAN 2. So exactly like it is like this. So, which means that on the switch ports 0001 I will keep in VLAN 1, 0203 I will switch for VLAN 2. Okay, so let's start by creating VLAN 2, which it does not exist. So to create a VLAN, you just enter the global configuration mode and just to type VLAN and the number you want to create, and that's also it's done. I can give it a name. It's optional, but why not? Okay, and we are good to go. It's now VLAN 2 exists. There is another way. I will show you in a second how can you do it in a different way. So let's just recap here. So ports 2 and 3 are going to belong to VLAN 2. So show I don't know, show port status or something, or show run or whatever. Use your preferred method. Show IP interface brief, for example, also works. Or show interface status. This does not have the status one. Never mind. Show. Oh yes. Oh sorry. Show interface status. I had the IP there, so I was not able to. So there we go. You have your interfaces. I forget. So it's 2 and 3. So this guy here is going to belong to VLAN 2. This guy here is going to belong to VLAN 2 also. So let's do that. So interface conf t. Interface Ethernet 0/2, and we just use switch port mode access. So we're going to remove this port and give it just access port status. Access port means it belongs only to one VLAN. I'm going to make a separate video about trunking, but stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, and hype. Now the hype is a new feature. Like, subscribe, and hype this video so get notified. You can see the extra step after this one. But for now, really simple. Then we do switch port access VLAN 2. Okay, so if I haven't created VLAN 2 with that method, if I do this and VLAN 2 does not exist, he will create for me. Let me show you with VLAN 3. He created it. So do show VLAN. So VLAN 3 now exists. Okay. So if a specific VLAN does not exist, when you do the access VLAN command, it will create for you. So let's do that again for the next port, and which is port 3, switch port mode access, and switch port access VLAN 2. Now if I go here, show VLAN brief, for example, now I can see that these two ports 2 and 3 now belong to VLAN 2, so ports 2 and 3 now belong to VLAN 2. That's that. Now the expected result is PC3 and PC4 will ping each other, PC1 and PC2 will ping each other. So these guys will ping each other, these guys will ping each other, and now these guys will not ping each other. That's what we expect. That's what VLANs do. They isolate machines, and 2 and 3 and 4 are isolated in a VLAN, 1 and 2 are isolated on another VLAN. So this is PC3 here. Let's go to raise my PC1. So PC1 should ping PC2, but now it does not ping PC3 now, and it also does not ping PC4. Okay. So PC1 pings PC2, which is the expected result, but does not ping any other of the other two. So PC2 will ping PC1. That and 1. Oops. And it does ping it. Now PC3 will ping PC4. So let's ping 10.1.1.4. Yep. And PC4 will ping PC3. Yes, it does, but it does not ping neither 1 nor 2. So this was the expected result, and it's resulting exactly as expected. And this is working great. All right, cool. Now we have created VLAN 1. Well, VLAN 1 already exists, you know that, in Cisco, and we have created VLAN 2 and put a couple of PCs there. Now these two guys are isolated in a good way in VLAN 1, and these two guys are isolated in a good way in VLAN 2. Now the next step would be I don't know, do not use VLAN 1, use VLAN 2 and VLAN 3. And get some IP addresses going. For example, VLAN 2 should be subnet 10.2.2, for example. VLAN 3 should be VLAN 3.3, and we work from there on. And so can get this optimized. So we should avoid using VLAN 1. And the next step is to switch these PCs from VLAN 1 to VLAN 2 and assign to each VLAN its own subnet IP, or IP subnet, because it's going to make our lives much easier. So you can next steps, that is configuring inter VLAN routing. So like, subscribe, and hype, because I'm going to make this step 2, which is to optimize the design, which is so we don't use VLAN 1 and use only VLAN 2 and VLAN 3, and we're going to change that on next video. Optimize the IP addressing. So people on VLAN 2 will be 10.2.10.2.2, and on VLAN 3 are going to be 10.3.3. So get things organized. And the next step is going to be to configure trunking, and the step after that to create create and configure inter VLAN routing. Like, subscribe, comment, and hype. It will help us the channel to grow. Let's grow it together as a community, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.